Good morning, my friends, or at least here it is morning. It's 9, 10 o'clock. I don't even know. And some people would say it's not morning, but as my grandmother always used to say, Kalimera Olimera, which means good morning all day. Some people wake up this time. I did, not now. I woke up 2-3 hours ago, but still it's morning. I can call it morning. So whatever. Today's subject is homeschooling. Homeschooling is when you don't take your child to school, but you choose to teach it from home. And why I will discuss this is because I really like the idea. I really believe it's a good idea, and I really believe that a lot of people should do it. It's not for everyone. Not everyone not everyone has the ability to do it, either because of they don't have the time, or maybe they don't have the knowledge, they don't know how to do it, they feel unsafe for X, Y, Z reason. So definitely, of course, not everybody can do it. That's why we have schools. It's very good that we have schools. So if you can't have your child at home, if you can't teach it from home, then you can send it to school. But in reality, a lot of us actually can teach the kids at home. And there's a lot of anti-homeschooling people that doesn't like the idea, doesn't listen to it, doesn't believe in it, and so on. And that's the reason why I do this video, just to open up the mind to this idea, open up the idea to people and make them understand that it's actually not that hard, and it's actually much better in many cases. I cannot say much better because, once again, I don't believe you can always calculate what will happen in someone's life. For some people, maybe school was the best thing in their life and made them succeed in life. But for a lot of people, I think that school actually slows them down. So let's go into some basics. For example, that you have a more personalized training with homeschooling. Like if you send your kid to school, there is a certain curriculum, as they say in America. There is a certain, like, they have to follow these things are meant to be learned to the kids. So everybody has to learn the same thing, everybody has to learn at the same pace, which means that if your kid, for example, thinks that math is too easy, in school it has to follow the easy route, go slowly as the other kids, while at home you could proceed and learn the kid much more and go much further, and then get ahead of in math instead of get behind. And same goes for other things, that in some cases maybe it's the opposite. Exactly, in some cases it's the opposite. The kid thinks it's too difficult, it goes too fast, and because the class has to keep on going with the kids that are doing fast, your kids might get left behind. So for me, homeschooling makes it easier for you to teach your kid faster in the things that they have to learn. Like, you can go faster if they want, you can go slower if they want. Whichever thing you will do in whichever case will make your kid learn faster, because it doesn't learn faster because the teacher goes faster. It's the total opposite, then it goes left behind. So that's one reason you will homeschool. Another reason is because you have a more flexible time. It doesn't need to follow a certain time. Like, you don't only study in the morning. Sometimes you will study in the night. Sometimes you will study in the middle of the day, or whatsoever. Whenever it feels good for the kid. I think the kid will feel better when it's not pushed to learn, but more encouraged to learn. It wants to learn. It doesn't have to learn. Like, I think it's a more healthy way of learning to actually let the kid get its own pace, as we said, do the work when it wants to do the work. You are there helping the kids with the work, and then people will say that, yeah, but you don't know all the lessons, or you don't have all the knowledge to teach the kid what the teachers are teaching the kids. And it's like, you don't even need to have all the knowledge. First of all, you can find all the knowledge out there, so you can teach yourself just to be able to teach. You can also ask someone to teach the kid. Just because you don't go to school doesn't mean that you can't send it to private lessons, or that you can't hire someone to come and teach you, or that they can't hire someone through the internet. And sometimes you don't even need to hire someone. Usually you can just find everything in books. So that's actually one of my main goals in how I want to homeschool my kid, that I don't want to follow a curriculum and teach the kid whatever I want to teach it. I want to teach it to be able to teach itself. To learn the kid that whatever you want to learn, you can go and read about. And if you read a book about something, you will become much smarter in that sector. So if the kid understands this in an early age, they will be reading, so they get better in the things they want to be better. They will learn how powerful reading is. And that's my goal, to make my kids love reading, start understand how they can use reading to its advantage, and in that case succeed. And I think better than other kids. It will, like, of course some kids will be better than my kid will be better than others. That doesn't matter if I send it to school or not. Some kids are more interested in some things. Some kids are more like, they will just take their way, they will do what they want to do. And if my kid tells me it wants to go to school, I will take it to school. If he likes it, he can stay. If he doesn't, he can go. Like, I think it's sad that people don't understand that it is possible to teach your kid everything it needs to be taught at home, because it doesn't need to learn all those things that it learns in school either. And most kids doesn't remember everything they learn at school either. You're learning things very fast, you're learning very much just to pass the class, go to next class, and so on. And yes, there is a base system there too that is not that dumb. I learned a lot from school. Like, even if I don't remember everything I did when I was in 6th grade, for example, that was the basis of me learning how to read, of me learning math and so on. And that's how I learned further on in school. So yes, I don't remember every day or whatever we talked about, but I think there is a lot also time that was useless, that I could have succeeded much more if I would have had the time at home, and if somebody was at home, of course, helping me. So in my case, for example, maybe it wasn't possible for me to be homeschooled. I had a mom, she was alone with 2 kids. Probably very hard to homeschool us. She had to send us to school to be able to go make money, put food on the table, and of course she was tired in the afternoon. We was tired because we had been at school all day. But today when I'm watching my life, I'm like, no, I want to try that. I really gonna work hard. Today it's not possible. I would not be able to have my kid full-time at home and do all these things that I believe you have to do also, because having your kid at home also means you have to take them for adventures, you have to take them to museums, you have to take them for all these things that also socializes them, like you have to write them into a football team or whatever it is. So you need money, of course, and that's why I'm right now just trying to find a way of how I can balance everything up and make that possible. But as much as possible is my thing. Like, you don't even have to have it all time at home or whatever. You can just try to keep it less in school if possible, or whatever. What more? Yes, exactly. One of the main reasons I am talking about this is because it's also illegal in many countries. Like, for example, where I was born and raised, Sweden, it's illegal to not take your kid to school. In Greece, where I'm from also, I'm half Greek, and I've been going to school there also and living there a big time of my life, a big part of my life, half of my life, I would say. And there is the same thing. It is not legal to not take your kid to school. And just that is crazy. It shouldn't be illegal. Nobody should have the power of what you want to do with your kid. If you have the amount of money that you can keep your kid at home, you can even pay teachers to come at home and teach your kid all these things, which means that you have brought a school to your home. I didn't say that school is bad. No, I didn't say that. I said I think it's possible that people can do better schools at home if they have the ability. And that's my goal. I want to create a school at home for my kids. I don't want to send my kid to school. I wanted to be able to learn everything from home, be able to chase their dreams, because this is also where it comes to that. In school, you will go many years having to pass the classes, and it takes many years, especially if you're failing, and like it's just such a long road until you finally get out to the workplace and finally understand that you're capable of making your own money and so on. So I think if you are homeschooling your kid, you could start introducing it much faster. You could catch and realize like it's a more personalized training. Whatever you do, it's your kid. You know your kid better than anyone. Nobody knows your kid as good as you if you are spending time with it as you should and so on. Because of course in some cases this is not true, but in most cases nobody knows the kid more than their parents. So you can really understand, you can really teach, you can really like give the right explanations for the kid to understand. It's so much better, and you will early on be able to take the path that your kids want to do. You realize that, oh, your kid is so talented in music. Then you will start from an early age sending it to music schools, music festivals, whatever it is that makes your kid embrace its powers, embrace its knowledge, and learn more and chase its dreams. It could start an own business at 16, 15, 14 if you catch them up early and teach them early. Like, there is so many possibilities instead of waiting for them to get a high school degree, so on, so on, so on. I think kids could be ready for, not kids, like human beings could excel much faster than they're doing in school in many times. So that's my point, that it shouldn't be illegal for me, that if I believe that I can create a better environment in my home for my kids. Like, for example, we take this, there is somebody has a farm filled with animals. They make their own living on the farm. They don't need anybody. They don't need any supermarket. They don't need anything. If this family want to pass on their tradition to their kids, not take them to school, let them be on the farm, let them learn how to handle the crops, let them learn how to handle the animals, let them learn how to sustain themselves and live on this land that they own and even make money. You teach the kid early on how to make money and make their own businesses. If they want, they can buy more land, more animals, and so on. Like, if that's the plan of a family to do, they should be allowed to do that. It shouldn't be illegal. That's crazy. And then if there is some issues that will come up, that, yeah, but then you don't know what's happening in the house and so on and so on. Well, then there is another systematic issue. We should not make it illegal, but we should make a system where there is a welfare check on these kids, where the parents have an obligation to take these kids each year for a test, where there also is psychology tests or whatsoever. Like, there should be a welfare check, of course. I don't say that people should not have any clue of what's happening in each and every house. Like, yeah, of course, people should have privacy, but you get what I mean. It should not be dangerous We should find ways of making it possible and not the opposite. Because right now it's illegal in many countries, and for me that's just crazy. Like, I might even have to think about living in my own countries because I don't like that they actually have authority over my kid in a way that they actually have more to say than me. Like, it's crazy, it's crazy. And I even have to discuss this with my wife. It's not an easy thing to convince her either. She also wants to send the kid to school. But I think people should do more research about this, and people should realize that it's not that hard. They say, oh, biggest question is always socialization. You have to socialize the kid. Don't worry. We're human beings. We're social beings. We will socialize whatsoever. That's like within us. But it's up to you as a parent to socialize your kid also. It's not that hard. You just go out, do things with your kid, meet other people, meet other families, meet other kids. There's 1,000 ways. Like, my name on YouTube is The Infinite Route, and that's because I just believe in the infinite. It's infinite amount of possibilities. We have infinite amount of energy within us to create and think and all these things. Like, it's just, for me, nothing is impossible. For me, everything is possible. And this is what I also want. People stop hating on people that are homeschooling and understand the whole idea, and understand that they're actually helping the school systems also with bringing down the number of students. If there was less students in school, the teachers would also be able to give more time to each one of them. So why are we all sending our kids there when we could have our kids home, teach them better? Not all of us, once again, it's not for all, but a lot of people could actually do this. I saw a video, for example, where there was talking about this socialization question, and there was a dad that had 5 kids and all 5 homeschooled. In America, it's very common. And this father said that once one of my kids, when he was 13, he came up to me and said, "Dad, I can't make friends," so on, that he was a little bit awkward in difference with other kids. It was so easy for him. He just gave his son a book about making new friends and socialization. The kid sat, read this book, and came back with open eyes like, "Dad, now I understand." And now this kid has a lot of friends and has no problem with socialization whatsoever. And that's the thing, like, nothing in life is ever gonna be easy. We're always gonna have obstacles, we're always gonna have difficulties, but I don't trust teachers to understand my son as good as me. I don't trust teachers to put 100% of their energy into my kid, because they have 20 or 30 kids in every class, and just impossible to have the energy every single day through a whole year. I have also gone to school. I have seen teachers get burned out. I have seen teachers get bullied by kids. I have seen it's not easy to be a teacher, and it's not easy to be a student, and it's definitely not the best way to teach your kids, I think. No, I don't think so. I think the best way is to really put effort as a parent, try to understand your kid, find what he needs to learn or she, find the ways to learn them, find the tools, find everything. Like, we are human beings, we're the most high IQ being on the planet, and yes, we're just meant to solve problems. I don't ever believe there is any problem that come upon us that we are not able to solve. There's another thing that we don't want to. We can give up, yes, but everything is fixable, everything is solvable. There's health issues that are not fixable maybe, but now I'm talking about school issues, for example, teaching your kid and so on. Like, no, you don't need a school. It doesn't have to be just one way. There should be many ways of how you want to teach your kids, and the law telling you that you have to do this way, that's what I'm against. I don't like this too much laws upon what we should be doing and not be doing. Like, we should have more free will, we should have more free. Yes, there is dangers within it, but there is dangers in both cases always. You can't avoid danger. That's also within the nature of animals and human beings. The danger will be there, you can't avoid it. Like, but you can try your best to protect your kid and yourself from dangers. And I once again think then it's once again better keep it at home. There is more dangers in school. There is bullying. There is big chance that your kid will be antisocial because it went to school and because it had a rough time there. So in many cases, it's not even true that it will socialize better in school. It's just there is no ultimatum. Like, it all depends on each kid. It all depends on the family, on the school. It depends on so many things. And that's what everybody should be thinking about more, not just thinking there is only one solution. And that's where my concern comes in. When people become too square thought, like you think within this square, you don't think outside of the box. You only think there is this way. Open up the box and start seeing a little bit outside of the box, and you will realize that there is many ways. There is an infinite amount of ways. And that's why the infinite route is here to talk, to discuss, and just open up the possibilities, open up your head to the infinite, and myself too. Like, one thing I said to a friend of mine is why I do these videos is also because, of course, I'm also thinking about my thoughts many times. I'm like, okay, are people gonna judge me? Are people gonna think this is weird and so on? But that's just even worse. Should we be afraid of thinking? Should we be afraid of speaking? Even for whatever reason, if there is for shame, if it is for awkwardness, fear, there should be okay to speak, there should be okay to think and have opinions. So that's another reason why I'm making these videos, to share my opinions. I think that's okay. There's nothing wrong. I don't say that I have right and I know best. I just say this is how I think, and there should be nothing wrong about thinking. And I see a lot of people saying their opinions about homeschooling on the social media, and people are attacking them and like, nah, you are not socializing your kids, or I can come up with thousands of things, but once again, this is what I mean. I don't want to put energy into this negativity. I don't want people to judge each other and hate each other. I want people to open up and start understanding each other. I don't say it's bad to send your kids to school. We are lucky that we have schools. Schools are there because they are needed. Many times people have to send their kids to school, but there are also many times we could have them at home. And we should be open-minded, not criticize each other for doing this, or not criticizing the people that are taking their kids to school. Understanding that everybody is different and everybody needs different kind of tools, different kind of experiences, whatever it is. And we have to handle our own things in life, not always poke on each other. Oh, you're wrong. Oh, you're right. Or who's wrong, who's right? Like, it don't matter. It's all depending on, like, in different cases maybe you're right, in different cases maybe you're wrong, and it's so many variables that's playing very important role in all these discussions and all these. So there is no one right answer, there is no one right solution, there never is. There is no ultimatum. It's all depending on, it's all different, we're all different. And some people, I think, would have been learning much more at home. Some people are learning much more at school, and that's up to each and every parent to see what is fitting for their kid, what is fitting for you as a family. Are you able to have your kid at home and teach it at home and put money and time on actually being the teacher yourself in some way or another? So no, there is internet, there is books, you can learn everything from home. We have so many people that have succeeded that are like I read someone was an attorney, so he was a lawyer, or attorney, I think that's the same thing. He was something big and educated without going ever to school. So there is a lot of people that I think even become doctors. There has to be people that has become doctors without going to main school. Maybe they went to a specific college in the end or something, but they didn't go to middle school, elementary school, and so on. So there's a lot of people that succeed, that create businesses. There's people that are business owners that has never ever stepped their foot in a school. Like, it's not school that will make someone successful in the end. Like, many times maybe school helped, yes, but it's just each and every one of us has their own gifts. Each and every one of us has to chase their dreams in life, and we should have the help from surrounding. The people should be empowering us around us. So next time you see someone doing something different from you, it doesn't mean you have to do it, but you can empower that person to do what it's doing because you see that it could work for them. You don't need to hate and say, oh, that's not how we should be doing it. Well, we shouldn't be doing it. Each and every one of us should be doing what it believes is best for themselves. So, yes, I'm gonna try to keep it short again. Short, 26 minutes, obviously. But it's a very, very complicated subject, actually. I realize, especially now when I'm speaking. I was even on my way to write a little script or something, but that would also be too robotic. I don't want to sit here and read outside of a paper. I don't want to talk about, like, search. I tell you, ask ChatGPT. I could read here real quick what I actually found when I just asked, like, I said like this: can you write me a script for a YouTube video where I will be discussing the benefits of homeschooling? So I could have done it this easy, just read out of this, have a whole script ready for you, but I talk out of my heart. I talk out of what I actually wanted to have said. And if you look here, we have personalized learning, what I would have been reading for you. So one of the biggest advantages of homeschooling is personalized education. In addition to classrooms, teachers have to teach dozens of students at once. In homeschooling, learning moves at the child's pace. As I said before, of course, I read this just to see, and it's just this is too obvious for me. That's why I wanted to go into more speaking from my heart as I did. But flexible schedules. Another huge benefit is flexibility. Homeschool doesn't have to follow a strict 8 to 3 schedule. Learning can happen in the morning, afternoon, or even evenings. The flexibility allows families to travel, pursue hobbies, and adjust learning around the child's natural energy levels. It also helps reduce burnout for both students and parents. A safer learning environment. For families, safety is a major reason for choosing homeschooling. Homeschooling can reduce exposure to bullying, peer pressure, and social stress that some students experience in traditional schools. Instead, kids can grow in a supportive environment where emotional well-being is just as important as academics. Stronger family relationships. Homeschooling often strengthens family bonds. Parents become more involved in their child's educations, and siblings spend more time together. Learning becomes a shared experience rather than something that only happens away from home. So once again, this is just, I love it. That's why I'm reading it. I wanted to also, if you're still at the video, this is just clear facts. ChatGPT tells you this is true. Freedom to explore interests. Homeschooling allows students to dive deeper into what they love. Whether it's art, music, coding, entrepreneurship, or science experiments, there is room to explore passions early and often. The kind of freedom helps kids develop creativity, independence, and genuine love for learning. So they will love to learn instead of being have to learn. Real-world learning. Education doesn't just happen in textbooks. Homeschool often includes hand-on, real-world learning, like coding to learn math, like cooking to learn math, running a small business, to learn economics, or visiting museums and nature centers as part of the curriculum. This makes learning more practical, memorable, and meaningful. Socialization looks different, but still exists. So this is the 7th point that ChatGPT came up with as a positive benefit of homeschooling. One common concern about homeschooling is socialization. But homeschoolers often socialize in different ways, through co-ops, sports teams, clubs, volunteering, and community activities. Instead of being limited to one classroom, kids interact with people of all ages, which can actually build strong communication and social skills. So yes, like, there is so many benefits. It's happening in America, it's happening in other countries too. Here where I live in Denmark, it's also a thing. So I definitely think that people should discuss this more, and I'm very sad that in some countries it is even illegal. So yeah, I will end it here. We will maybe discuss this more, and I hope that one day maybe we can have discussion with someone on the live or something, so it can become more of both-sided also, because in this case we did not hear so much from the other side. But once again, I don't really have a side. That's what I say, that in this case I say it's good for schools to exist. They should be used for those who need them, but they should also be okay to have homeschooling, and we should also try to encourage that more, because definitely homeschooling for some people has been so much better than going to school. And that's also up to you. Go out, research, and you will see that on the internet there is people that has been homeschooled that is out and talking about their experience and how happy they are and how successful they are. So no, there is no ultimatum, and you can do whatever you want, or you should be able to do whatever you want, as long as you don't harm others. Once again, yes, peace and love. I hope that people understood my meaning of the video and why I'm talking about this, and also understood my thoughts, and maybe more people will start doing this also. I hope I will be homeschooling all my kids. So maybe I will have more about it in the future when I also do it myself. It's still early, we have many years in front of us. Life is short but also very long, so the possibilities are infinite. Bye bye.